welcoming my colleagues back to what I hope will be a highly productive lame duck session of this Congress. We have immense challenges facing our country, but I believe we can come together and accomplish the task before us, hopefully in a truly bipartisan way. And as the presiding officer knows, one of the issues that I've been really concerned about for some time now is the production tax credit for wind energy, which is known by its acronym, the PTC. And I want to just acknowledge the presiding officer's state. Minnesota has an enormous presence in the wind energy industry. And I've come to the floor, as my colleagues know, maybe in some of their minds too often, but I come down here every morning that we're in session, just about every morning since June, to talk about the importance of extending this job-creating tax credit. The PTC has helped create literally tens of thousands of good-paying middle-class jobs all across our nation. And it's in turn spurred the growth of the wind energy industry. It's strengthened American manufacturing, which we all deeply care about, and it's helped free us from foreign sources of energy. That's quite a trifecta of successes. And make no mistake about it, it's also underlined the fact that energy security is national security. But as the expiration of the PTC draws near, and it draws near at the end of this year, the inaction here in the Congress has brought a dark cloud literally over this important American industry. And our workers are paying the price. Manufacturers across our great nation and all along the wind industry's supply chain have been forced to lay off thousands of workers just in the past several months. And I want to just share one example. Vestas, which is a leading manufacturer of wind turbines, and it has a large presence in my home state of Colorado, has laid off hundreds of workers. And literally, hardworking Americans are losing their good-paying jobs because Congress has delayed action to extend this tax credit, which I should point out has broad bipartisan and bicameral support. So in both the Senate and the House, in both parties, there's support for extending it. Enough is enough. Now, luckily, we've made some progress. Earlier this year, the Senate Finance Committee passed a bipartisan tax extenders bill that would extend a number of important tax provisions, and among them, the production tax credit. Unfortunately, this package, which is critical, and it's so important to our economy, has sat on the shelf for many months now. And as Coloradans tell me, and I share with you as my colleagues, that's just simply unacceptable. Now, as I mentioned, I've made these regular trips down to the floor, and what I've been able to do is highlight individual states and how the wind industry has created jobs and generated power for each of those individual states. And in fact, I'm 20 states in, and I'm nowhere near done. And that's because almost every state, almost every one of the 50 states has a presence in the wind industry. Today, I'm going to turn to Wisconsin, which has a well-established manufacturing sector historically, and that manufacturing sector has retooled to support the wind industry. And in fact, if you look at the map here, Wisconsin has over 22 manufacturing facilities that make parts for the wind energy industry. And in addition to the manufacturing sector, Wisconsin has also made big gains in wind power generation. So you can build the turbines and the blades and the towers and the nacelles, but then you can also, if you have a wind resource, you can then harvest that wind. And Wisconsin has made big gains in harvesting that wind. The farms there, the wind farms, already provide enough electricity to power 150,000 homes. And the projects that are currently proposed in Wisconsin could multiply that number fourfold. And if you look at the economic implications, they're very, very impressive. And in fact, according to the National Renewable Energy Lab, which I have to say is located in Colorado, if even half of the proposed projects were completed, it would provide a cumulative economic benefit of over $1 billion. That's $1 billion. So let's do our part in helping make that investment happen by extending the production tax credit. The PTC, as I pointed out, has helped these Wisconsin facilities prosper and grow, but this looming expiration would threaten some 3,000 jobs that are supported by this industry in Wisconsin. And, Madam President, it's also important to note that when the big companies that gain some of the attention in the wind energy world, like Siemens or Vestas, announce layoffs because of uncertainty over the PTC, there are a lot of other small businesses in the industry that are affected by those decisions. There are literally thousands of parts in a wind turbine, some 8,000, I think, to be exact. And so when you see the industry take a step back, then a lot of those small businesses are affected, and then they feel the downturn as well. And we all are really concerned about those families and those communities and the small businesses that are hurt by those sorts of job losses in Wisconsin and all over our country. So there, as I close, Madam President, there's a tremendous amount of work that the wind energy industry has done to help restore America's manufacturing base. So with all that potential looming in front of us, we just can't let our inaction stand in the way. So my message to all of us is pretty simple. We need to pass the production tax credit as soon as possible. The PTC equals jobs, and we need to pass it ASAP. And I can't say it enough times. There's no reason for this delay. It's caused the loss of good-paying jobs, and it's set our energy independence goals back. And, Madam President, if we don't act soon, foreign competition will get the upper hand and pass us by. There's no question that the rest of the world is moving very, very quickly to implement their own wind energy projects and to build the wind energy turbines. So let's just not let this scenario become a reality. Let's move in the way that the Senate Finance Committee has showed us we could move. Let's extend the PTC here in the Senate. I know the House could follow suit. Let's just simply put, pass the production tax credit as soon as possible. If we're focused on the economy, if we're focused on jobs, this is what we heard from the voters just a short week ago, let's get the production tax credit extended. Madam President, I yield the floor